Yeah. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, man, we all know about the speed. We all know about the undrafted free agents at this point. We all know that we got a lot of speed. And Adrian Killins, man. Oh, wait, before I get too ahead of myself, let me thank each and every one of you guys for the birthday wishes, man. You know, I ain't gonna lie, during this quarantine, man, not being able to go outside and stuff like that, you know, you guys really made my birthday special for me, man. I mean, I think on Twitter, probably on Twitter alone, I got like 150 happy birthdays, man. That stuff means a lot, and I think I responded to each and every one. You know what I mean? Because I appreciate y'all, man. I always will, I always have, and y'all the main reason, y'all are the reason I do this. You know what I'm saying? Because I could talk to myself. I'm glad I got 11,000 people I could talk to. You know what I mean? It's dope, though. So I want to talk about Adrian Killins, man. I think Adrian Killins is going to make the roster. We got so much speed. We got speed to waste. Everybody can't make the roster. We got to be, you know, we have to be very, very, very aware of that, because Rhaegar is going to make the roster. Now, you know, I'm going to have a whole 53, I think it's 53-man roster now. I think they upped it one, which is in our favor, so we can keep a little of that speed around. But I'm going to have a whole breakdown, you know what I'm saying, of who I think is going to make the roster coming up here shortly, and why. But two guys right now that I'm thinking are going to make the roster, with the exception of your first, well, I'm just from a wide receiver standpoint and just a speedster standpoint. I believe that Hightower is going to make the roster because his ability to return punts is something that we need that ability. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of the slowest guys that we acquired, respectively. I mean, he ran a 4.43 or something like that, but that's still, you know what I mean, compared to what we got on this team, man. But he can still make the roster because he has his length, and he actually can run. He can run really good fly routes. His strength when being pressed is going to always be in question until you can show otherwise, because he's a smaller guy, I guess. But man, Adrian Killins, man, I think Adrian Killins is the fastest guy on the team at the moment. You know, I didn't know much about him until I looked at his highlights, and you know, after we acquired him, that dude can run flat out. Flat out can run. If you don't touch him, and if you let him make a few cuts, he is gone. He is gone. Automatically. He's faster than Miles Sanders. A little smaller, but that dude can run. And you're talking about having a guy, if he can catch passes out the backfield, he's going to make the roster. I mean, what Howie Roseman did was create competition all across the board. I know we don't even like the fact that he drafted a quarterback, but he put some competition in that quarterback room. He put competition in the quarterback room, because I think Hightower worked out with Jalen Hurts in the offseason. Was it Hightower? Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody that we just drafted worked out with Jalen Hurts. And they said Jalen Hurts is a dog. Jalen Hurts wants to start for somebody one day. But Jalen Hurts is being very respectful, very humble, knowing that Carson Wentz is that guy, so he's going to try to learn from Carson Wentz. But at the same time, man, the groundwork has been laid for competition. In the wide receiver room, a lot of dudes are going to have to go to the gulag and fight for their positions, man. A lot of dudes. Now, some positions that I believe are some of the safest are some of the defensive acquisitions that we acquired in this year's draft. You're talking about Davion Taylor, man. That linebacker, Davion Taylor, I am so high on this guy, bro. I didn't know anything about him. He didn't make the draft board. When they picked him, you know, I was still mad about the second pick, so he kind of got a little side-eye just because of the second pick. But that third pick, I'm telling you, that third pick is an absolute gem. We have not had a linebacker that fast, I don't think, in the history of the Eagles. This dude, it's footage of this dude chasing down wide receivers from the tackle box. From the tackle box, yo. It's footage of this dude doing this type of stuff, man. And, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how fast this dude is. His instincts are off the chart. I am absolutely in love with the third-round pick. I'm in love with the third-round pick. Some guys say he's a tweener. I seen Ike Reese tweet that he's a tweener. You know, a tweener that might not pan out, because everybody was still mad about. Everybody was mad until like the fourth-round pick, I think. A lot of people don't know much about Rhaegar, so they were mad about Rhaegar. A lot of people was damn sure mad about the second-round pick, including me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just were like, who is this guy? Nobody's talking about him when it came to the 3rd round pick. And I'm telling you, man, he got that dog in him, bro. He's going to be something. He's going to be something, man. I'm telling you, man. He is going to be something. He could cover. He could tackle. He could hit. You know, I can't say much about him. You know what I'm saying? I can't say much about him. You know, then you go to Kayvon Wallace. Brian, well, let's go back to Davion Taylor, man. 24 games, I believe. 100 solo tackles in 24 games. You know what I mean? That's solo tackles. I know people like to say, blah, blah, blah. But he's mainly looked at as a coverage guy. But he's a coverage guy that can tackle. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. He don't got a lot of tread on his tires. 24 college games. I think in high school, I've read somewhere that, you know, I think he only played one high school game. And that high school game got him a scholarship to Colorado. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. Kayvon Wallace, man. First of all, Kayvon Wallace was a top 50 prospect on a lot of draft boards. A lot of people, you know, we keep talking about this offense, but I think this defense is the one that's going to be able to plug players in and get right to work immediately. I feel like we're gonna have like a top 10 defense. Kayvon Wallace is definitely going to challenge for that starting spot. Definitely going to challenge for that starting spot. He is already so cocky. He is already so sure of himself. I love it. Brian Dawkins is talking about him. Bobby Taylor is talking about him. Everybody's talking about him. He's already telling the Eagles, listen, I'm coming to report, and you got me for cheap. You got me on a discount. Man, I love that kid too, man. I love the kid, man. I love the defensive picks we made, man. It's like I love the defensive picks we made just as much as the offensive picks. I love everything about this. I love everything about these 3 guys. And the last guy being Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley was talked about. Now, the New York Giants were heavily scouting Sean Bradley. Heavily scouting Sean Bradley. So this is what I did. What I did was I looked at who the teams in our division were looking at. Who the teams in our division were looking at. I looked at from the Redskins. I looked at from the Giants. I looked at from the Cowboys. I looked at who these guys were scouting. What was their mindset? Because, you know, I think you got to do that. I think you got to do that. So, you know, that's why it was such a surprise to me when CeeDee Lamb was gone, because the Dallas Cowboys weren't thinking about picking CeeDee Lamb. But it was always, you know, a possibility of him slipping. Now, they didn't think he would slip to him, basically what I'm saying. So, obviously, they had to do what they had to do when he did slip, which makes it a good pick. But this dude, Sean Bradley, they were talking about this guy as being a poor man's Isaiah Simmons. A poor man's Isaiah Simmons. I think a beat writer from New York said this kid is a poor man's Isaiah Simmons. And then when you see him on the field, you see the leadership from the linebacker position. You know, run stuffer. You know, play. He can cover when he has to cover. You know what I mean? He's just a physical linebacker. You know what I mean? Great hands for the position. I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles struck gold with the defensive side of the ball as well as the offensive side of the ball. Then you start looking at some of the undrafted free agents. You know, I didn't really dig too deep into that besides Adrian Killins. There was another wide receiver who was really fast. And then the cherry on the top was the 200th pick for me was Quez Watkins at wide receiver. But the defensive picks, a lot of DBs went undrafted. A lot of people's spots are going to be challenged, and a lot of people are going to be in the gulag fighting for these spots. I think Adrian Killins can absolutely challenge Boston Scott. I think he could challenge Boston Scott. Listen, you got a real good problem when Boston Scott is the slowest person on your team. It looks like that. I think Clement is gone, if he's not already gone. I think Alshon Jeffrey could be gone. You know what I mean? But, you know, a lot of people, spots will not be guaranteed. Only spots that I can think of that's guaranteed right now is Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, goddamn Carson Wentz. I don't think none of those cornerback spots are guaranteed. I don't think none of those wide receiver spots are guaranteed who not named Deshaun Jackson. I just don't think so, man. You know what I mean? The Philadelphia Eagles also signed an undrafted free agent who was a quarterback, but they're signing him as a wide receiver. Another Greg Ward situation. His spot even on the line. Let me know.